I'm going to take a block with me too. So go on your backs, take the soles of the feet together, let your knees flop apart. For some reason that doesn't feel good in your body, you can go the opposite way. It's always good to know that option. The feet to the width of the mat and the knees knock in. Yeah. Yeah, and stretch your arms up over the top of the head. Let's do this a little different. Interlace your hands and flip the palms inside out. And then just kind of grow that from the shoulders all the way to the fingertips towards the back skinny edge of the mat and lengthen. Like a little yawn. Yeah. Yeah, and then slide your hands behind your head. Palms are just like a little pillow wrap, and let your elbows drop open that way. Feel the splay of your inner thighs as they drop open, and feel your lower back begin to kind of lengthen on the mat. Yeah, 2 more breaths. Good, you're just gonna take your left thigh and drop it on top of your right thigh and just kind of scoot your legs to the right so your hands are behind your head. Yeah, so just doing a little supine twist with the legs tucked together. And then you'll windshield wash them up through center. You have to shimmy your hips a little and then drop the knees over to the left. The hands stay behind your head so you get a shoulder blade opener. Good, and then you'll come up to neutral and you're gonna take your heels, like you're gonna dig your heels in for a wider kind of bridge setup, but we're not gonna go into bridge. So it looks like this, like you're clawing the mat with your heels. Yeah, and then the right leg's gonna lift up towards the sky. The hand's gonna stay behind the head, the right hand, and the left arm's gonna reach up towards those left toes. So left hand, right foot, opposite hand, opposite leg. And then you're gonna lower it down. And if you want more intensity, you're gonna let your head and shoulder blade lift up, but keep your drishti towards the sky as you move like this. Yeah, good. And the slower you move, obviously, the more you feel, but majority of us don't want to move slow right now. We want to move fast and just get it over with. Good, so you're just kind of crunching up. Hand stays behind the head to keep the length of the neck. So there's no extra pressure. The left heel is digging into the mat. Yeah, keep crunching. Keep pulsing and using your breath to kind of stabilize everything as we move. Keep going just like that. Give it a little more. Good, on the next up, you're gonna hold the leg straight up towards the sky, and then you're gonna reach your left arm over towards the right. You're gonna crunch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep the head nice and open. Good, go for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands behind the head, bend your right heel, dig it into the mat. So the legs are bent in half and a little wider away from you. Left leg lifts, left hand stays behind the head, and then the same deal. So kind of lowering and pulsing. For more intensity, your left shoulder blade can lift up, head stays neutral. So reaching back and lengthening, and then tapping anywhere across the front of that shin leg area as you move. Obviously, the slower you go, the more you'll feel. Keep going, utilizing your breath, building a little heat and intensity. Keep crunching, a few more. Keep digging that right heel in. You got it, yep. On the next up, hold, and then you're gonna reach across the body and crunch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands behind the head. Left heel digs into the mat. Hands behind the head. You're going to crunch straight up. Small movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anjali Mudra with your hands, thumbs crossed, baby finger, index fingers forward, and you're gonna crunch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Look up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug the knees in. Grab the outer blades of your feet for happy baby. Lengthen your tailbone. Rock and roll a little. Yeah. And then hug the knees in towards the chest, rock and roll a bunch of times, lengthen the spine, use your strength. You can cross your ankles, however it's going to look or feel, and find your way to your first downward facing dog. Right. So if I stayed up to 11 o'clock at night out, I would not have been able to speak and teach you that. Spread your palms wide, index fingers forward. Spread your toes wide. Breathe your hips way up off your shoulders. Yeah, I taught the Tuesday's class with the use of blocks underneath your hands. So if you like the feel of that, I'm going to encourage you to try that out again. So you can slide a block under each hand. It's the same down dog. It's just you're kind of elevating yourself a little bit. Yeah. And then just kind of see how that feels. You okay? Do you need assistance? Okay. Bless you. Now, when your hands are on the blocks like that, I feel like you get a little bit more action to the backside of your body. So if you feel tight and stiff through your hamstrings, it's a great way to kind of get in there. You still soften behind your knees if you need to. Yes, and still continuously moving your shoulders away from your ears. Now, roll forward to plank position. And from the first dog to plank, sometimes you need to kind of lengthen it out a little bit. Fix your eyes on one spot. I like the front skinny edge of the mat. It's a good little sweet spot to focus on. The neck stays very, very neutral. You're pulling your shoulder blades apart and you're leading a little bit through your heart and chest. You lengthen your tailbone. Try not to tuck it. It's a funny little thing, figuring that out. Quadriceps engage and your eyes are fixed. And you just hold. Now, by having those hands on those blocks, if you chose that option, press firmly into the block with your entire hand, your thumb, your index finger, your baby finger, and feel the pulling up. It carries all the way up to the sides of your arms, and wraps down the entire side of the body. Breathe, hold. Hips go up and back, down dog. So we found our sweet spot here, hopefully. Roll forward plank, all the way forward plank. Drop your knees down on an angle, even if you do this all the time. Bring your weight forward a little bit and then lower halfway to a supported push-up, just like that. Neck stays nice and neutral. Shoulders pull away from you. That's it. Re-straighten your arms. Lift the knees. Plank position. Hips go up and back, down dog. So let's try and move on the breath together. Plank position, roll forward. Drop your knees so they're on an angle. Halfway to your push-up, even if it's a small movement this morning, elbows close to your side ribs. That's it. Re-straighten your arms. Lift the knees so you're back in the solid plank, one straight line of energy. Hips go up and back, down dog. Good. Try it one more time. Roll forward plank. Drop your knees on an angle. Halfway to your push-up. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. Lift the knees so you're in plank. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Nice work. Breathe your right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Yeah, come forward to plank and hug your right knee towards your navel. Give it a good little scoopy squeeze. Arms are straight up and down. Look forward with your eyes and land your right foot right to that right side of that block, all the way over. Be on your fingertips or have your hands on those blocks. Drop your back knee down on an angle if that's available to you. You can keep the foot curled or flat on the ground. Sweep your arms up to a supported lunge. When you come up like this, especially early in the practice, things don't feel 100%. You can pull out of it a little bit. So if it feels too much to be dumping forward, pull back. Good. Drop your arms alongside your body. Interlace your hands behind your back. Just pick the grip that probably feels most comfortable. Eyes of the shoulders lift. And then you start to lift up and back, sliding your hands down the back of that thigh. Even if it's just a small movement, you start to look with your eyes, not with your neck. Yes. Feel your right heel press into the mat. Feel your right hip grip in. Pull your torso up and then sweep your arms straight up towards the sky. Perfect. Hands to frame your front foot. Lift the kneecap up off the ground. You're in a low lunge. Yeah. You're in a low lunge. Left hand's going to stay down. Right arm's going to peel open. If the block is there, you're pretty ready to go. Yep. It's a good little segment. Scoop up that right hip. Let's see where our music is. Right hand down, step to a plank. Halfway to your push-up, modify if you feel like that's best for you this morning. Re-straighten your arms to a plank. Hips go up and back, down dog. Left leg, breathe it up and back, three-legged down dog. Come forward and hug your left knee straight in, give it a good little squeeze. Arms are straight up and down. Scoop up that core a little more. Land your left foot all the way towards that left block. Come to your fingertips or keep the hands on the blocks. There's a leading with your chest. Drop your right knee down. It should be on a little angle. Sweep your arms straight up. As you come up, kind of pick the splay. Like, do you want to be a little bit more bendy in that front hip, or do you want to pull out of it a little bit if it's too much? Drop your arms alongside your body. Pick the less familiar grip. So opposite thumb, opposite baby finger. Eyes of the shoulders lift, and you start to drag your hands down the back of that right thigh. Even if it's just a small movement, don't get caught up. Pull the torso up and sweep your arms towards the sky. Just moving the energy this morning. Hands to frame your front left foot. Lift the right knee up. You're in a low lunge. Pause. Right hand down, left arm peels. Go into an easy twist right here. Pay attention to your bottom shoulder. That would be your right shoulder. That it's not turning in. Grip your left hip in and activate your back right leg. Hands to frame your left foot. Step back to a plank. When you arrive back to plank position, halfway to your push-up. Re-straighten your arms, plank position. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Great. Look to the top of the mat. You can step your feet there this morning. You can hop light if you're feeling energetic. Totally up to you. Long spine right here. Fold in half. Let your head go. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Anchor your feet. Sweep big. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. So from the top here, just some sun A's to get us going. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine sets you up. You can take 2 big steps to get you back to plank, or hop lightly into a low push-up chaturanga. The up dog is very smooth, first one of these. So if you prefer a cobra or not doing it at all, take it out. That's okay. Hips go up and back, down dog. Can you roll over your toes, or does it hurt? Or you can pick your toes up. I'll explain to you more. Doesn't feel good for some of us. Arms stay straight. Look where you want to go. You can step. You can float to the top of the mat. Get there light. Long spine. Fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms go straight up. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare yourself. Step. Float light through your low push-up. Drag yourself through an up dog or cobra. Pick your poison. Yeah, just pick up your feet. That's exactly it. Hips go up and back, down dog. Like, some people just can't roll over their toes. It doesn't feel good, so that's fine. Arms are straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat, land there. Long spine, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms go straight up. You guys look thrilled. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. The up dog should be very, very smooth. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. So consider breathing a little more. Yep, it's free. It's right there for you. There's not much that's free in the world, so let's breathe. Arms are straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine. Fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. One more, arms go straight up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let the head go. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog, that was nice. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe your right leg up and back, 3-legged down dog, lift from your inner thigh. Come forward and hug your right knee towards your navel. So when you hug your right knee straight in today, drop your right shin down so it hovers. Arms are straight up and down, neck is neutral, and then drag that right leg back in. Try that again. Drop it down so it hovers. and then hug it back in one more time. Drop it down so it hovers, and then scoop it up and squeeze it in. Look forward with your eyes and step your right foot forward and through. Be on your fingertips or hands on those blocks. Turn the back foot on a sharp angle. Reach your arms alongside your body, and then let's come up, warrior one. Steer your left ribs forward. The outer blade of your back left foot securely presses into the mat. Yeah. Opportunity to turn those left ribs more forward. Neck stays neutral, shoulders drop down the back. Feel your feet on the floor there, your starting point, and then you work up. Hands to frame your front foot. Step back to a plank. When you hit plank position, lean on your left hand for a version of side plank that you know you can hold and breathe for a few breaths. I like staggering the feet or stacking the feet. Some of us need to modify. Top arm reaches straight up or up and forward. Yep, nice, Hal. Take your top foot and bring it in front or on top. Try that. Take it in front and anchor it like it's a warrior 2 foot. Turn it a little bit more forward and it'll be good. Plank position, slow. Halfway to a push-up. Up dog. Hips go up and back, down dog. Breathe your left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. So you lift from your inner thigh. There's intention, there's purpose. We come forward and we're going to hug the left knee straight in. So as the left knee comes straight in, you scoop it in and up. The arms are really firm. Then we're going to lower it down so it almost touches. So it's hovering. And then scoop it up. And then lower it down. That's it. Keep the neck neutral. Then scoop it up. And then lower it down. And then we'll scoop it up, hold. Step the left foot forward and through. Come to your fingertips. Peel your back right foot down to about a 70-degree angle. And then rise, warrior one. Yeah. Outer blade of your back right foot pivots enough so your right ribs have the ability to turn forward. Shoulders drop down the back. Fingertips are alive and awake. Brittany, turn your right ribs more forward if you can. Yeah, good job. Hands to frame your front foot. Plank position, lean on your right hand, pick your fave version. Modified if cool. Stagger the feet, stack the feet. I like my top foot in front of my back foot, and I turn my top foot, my left, that would be the left foot, like it's in a warrior 2. So the toes turned a little in. That's going to give you the stability to hold the pose, lifting through your hips to your side body. Plank position slow. Sometimes I see very fast exits there. Chaturanga push-up if you got it in you. Up dog is smooth, peel. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Not so bad. Arms stay straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top of the mat. Long spine when you arrive. Weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. First one of these bad boys. So your feet can be together, a little separated. Totally up to you. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. So from the top here, arms go straight up towards the sky. Heavy in your heels. You sit way down into chair. When you fold over bent legs. Let your head go. Then you find the long spine. You create the space in your body and you step or float from here to your version of a vinyasa. Adding or subtracting what works for you. We're all different. Hips go up and back, down dog. The right foot lands, the back foot turns, rise, warrior one. Hands to the earth, plank position. Chaturanga. Up dog is smooth, hips go up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns, rise, warrior one. Hands to frame your front foot. Chaturanga push-up. The up dog is smooth. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. So we're just going to loop them together. Arms are straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine. Fold. Chair pose. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms go straight up. Chair pose. Sit deep. You guys look like you're studying to take the bar in here. Yes. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through vinyasa. Up dog. Smooth sailing right here. Hips go up and back. Down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns. Just move and groove. Chaturanga push-up. Take it out if it's too much. Listen to what your body needs, not what it wants, what it needs. Left foot forward. To the floor we go. Keep it going. Up dog is smooth. Hips go up and back, down dog. Your arms stay straight and strong. Look where you want to go. Step or float. Top of mat. Long spine. Fold. Chair pose with excitement. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Keep going. Arms go straight up. Chair pose. Dive over those bent legs. Let it go. Long spine to prepare. Step or float. Vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips go up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns. Rise, warrior one. To the floor we go. Now you get in your mojo. Up dog. Hips go up and back, down dog. It takes a little. Left foot forward, back foot turns. Rise. To the floor we go. Chaturanga push-up. Up dog is smooth. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. We're gonna do one more. Arms stay straight. Look where you wanna go. Step or float. Get there light. Long spine. Fold in half. Sit into your chair. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. So don't think less here and just feel your way through it. Arms go straight up, heavy in your heels for chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine sets you up. Step or float. Vinyasa. When you pull yourself to the up dog, let the shoulders drop down the back, then hips go up and back, down dog. Right foot forward, back foot turns, rise, warrior one. To the floor we go, chaturanga push-up, looking good. Up dog is smooth. Hips go up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns, keeping it going. Chaturanga push-up. Up dog is powerful. Hips go up and back, down dog. Then we hold down dog for 3 to 5 breaths. So just be still. Let your body just feel. Shoulders move away from your ears. Holly, I like the hands on the blocks for you. I think it's like helping the alignment. Yeah. You don't have to do it forever, but for today, it looks good. All right, you're ready to move on. Here we go. So we're going to breathe that right leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. We'll point our right toes pretty actively. We'll come forward and hug the right knee straight in. Scoop it up a little more. Yeah. All I need you to do is just look forward with your eyes. That's it. Step the right foot forward and through in a low lunge, but pause. Pause in a low lunge. So slide your block a little forward and step up into Ardha, half moon. Yeah. Block needs to be enough forward that your side ribs are long. I like my hand to fingertips, coming to fingertips. Yeah. And then you peel open. Flex your left toes. Extend the left arm up. Beautiful. Take your right ribs and turn them. Look sideways, look up. If you want to add in a little bind today, bend your left leg in half and reach with that hand. Even just creating the shape. Now, when you kick, the kick goes behind you. Just remember to keep your right thigh and your right knee slightly a little bit bent. Nice. Stay with it. Keep gripping your right hip in. Release into a regular Ardha. Giant step back, warrior two. You're going to hit warrior two. We're going to hold warrior two for a few breaths to find your alignment. Your right foot intersects your back left arch. Your arms spread open nice and wide. Your right ribs turn towards the mirrors, your left ribs back. And with that, your right thigh rolls open. Kristen, the alignment looks great. Nice, Megan. Soften the shoulders down the back, close your eyes, and see if you can go inward a little and just feel the posture. Make sure you're not surfing your weight all the way forward. It's somewhat even between your right arm and your left arm. Feel your feet on the floor. Relax the jaw, relax the face as you hold just a few more. Keep your arms powerful and energetic. They look great, everybody. Straighten your right leg on track. Pick your distance and find triangle. Maybe your back left foot has to come in a little bit. It just depends on your body today. Soften behind that front knee just a tad. It's always a good thing to do. Right hand resting anywhere along the front of the right shin, or utilize a block to the outside of the calf. You can go even higher. Yeah. There's a hooking in of your right ribs, a turning of your right ribs towards that mirror, and a sliding of the shoulder blades away from your ears. Anchor your feet. Feel your side body. For the last few breaths of triangle pose, if you want to take your left arm and wrap it up and forward, kind of how you would do in an extended side angle A, give that a little whirl. If that doesn't work for you, bag it. Yeah, nice work. Eyes to the floor, circle the hands down. You're going to hit plank position, move yourself through a vinyasa. Keep it simple. The up dog is smooth. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. We'll breathe our left leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. As you lift with power and tension. Point your left toes this time. Activate that left leg. Come forward and hug your left knee straight in. Arms are straight up and down. Scoop the knee a little closer to you. Just change your gaze to look forward a little, not your neck, just your gaze. Step the left foot forward and through. Be in a low lunge. Get that foot really planted forward. Then reach for the block and step up into Ardha this way. It's a really nice way to get into it. I enjoy this transition. Yeah. It allows you the spot. You can kind of find where you need to be with that left hand and that block, the height that's appropriate for you. Soften behind that standing leg a little. Flex your right toes open and then roll open a little. Add in the half bind if you did it on the other side. It's good to try and be consistent. No two sides of the body are exact, I am aware. The kick goes behind you. Keep turning those bottom ribs. Watch that standing left foot. Has a tendency to turn in as our hip fatigues. Yeah, very common. Stay with it. Couple more breaths. Regular Ardha, if you added anything fun in. Giant step back warrior two. Sometimes it's one or two steps to get you into it. So don't beat yourself up. The left foot is forward. The back right toes turn on an angle. If you got a fancy mat, it's good to use that center line. Yeah. And you have nothing to guide you here except the feeling of it. So soften the shoulders down the back, roll that left thigh open, and find some evenness from your right arm to your left arm. Then close your eyes and settle in for a few really great breaths. Feeling your way through the practice is really the way to go, right? Get out of your head and just let it kind of unravel. Stay with it. Where are you collecting energy? Let it go. Keep the arms very powerful. Just start to straighten the left leg on track. Yeah. Scoot your back foot in if you need to, or lengthen the stance. Pick your distance for triangle. Triangle pose. Hand to shin, hand to block. Find what works for you this morning. Yeah, anything you want to do to make the pose feel good for you today. Soften behind that front left knee though. And take your left ribs and turn them and lean back just a tad. Yeah, so watch the shoulder and watch this shoulder. There you go. Perfect. That forced you to have to bend that front leg. Now the alignment's spot on. Looks good. If you want to take your top arm and bring it up and forward, give that a whirl. It's going to give that side body extension from the outer blade of your right foot. If your side hip, your TFL is tight, you should start to feel this along that side body. Stay for 3 more breaths. Eyes to the floor, circle it down, and you hit your plank. When you hit the plank, you move through your vinyasa, chaturanga push-up. The up dog is smooth. The hips go up and back, downward facing dog. We're keeping this deal moving. So the right foot lands, the back foot turns. We're going to come up into warrior 1. Yeah, warrior 1. Scoop your right hip in. Yeah, good adjustment. Turn your left ribs forward. Drop your arms alongside your body this morning. Interlace your hands behind your back like we did before. It can be loose. It doesn't have to be pinned straight. Inhale, lift the eyes, the shoulders. Exhale, come into your version of humble with your arms bound behind your back. Stomach can just rest on that thigh. You can get in there too. Right shoulder kind of snuggles to the instep of the right knee. There's many ways to be in this pose. Notice that your right hip starts to fatigue. It wings out. You got to grip it under you and turn your left ribs forward. So left ribs, Meg, in the front forward. There you go. Nice work. Anchor through your feet. Use the power of your feet to maintain the stability of the shape of the pose. This gets you good. Keep the bound hands. Start to bring your torso up slow. Nice job. Keep the bound hands and straighten your right leg on track. Keep the bound hands and pivot your torso and your right foot forward towards the mirrored wall for a wide straddle. If you can keep the bound hands, that's awesome. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, go down the center. If it's too much, relax the hands down to the ground and find a position that works for you. Your hands can go in between your feet. You can walk them back. It's kind of a nice way to do it. I like to feed the hands back. Sometimes I just have my hands resting like chaturanga arms on blocks. Yeah. Opportunity to go up always in this version, but dropping your head down below your heart, you are technically in an inversion. So, yes. Come to the fingertips, long spine, hands to your hips, halfway up, come the rest of the way up. Open up your arms nice and wide. Turn your right toes out from your right hip towards the front skinny edge of the mat. The back foot have to go a little bit on an angle and sit into warrior 2. You were here before, so you should find it pretty easily. Warrior 2, tracking that right knee directly over that right ankle. Yeah. Flip the palm and reverse the warrior for a side body opening. We're going to B variation of extended side angle. So if you go right to a bind, you're welcome to just bind right in. If not, right hand to the instep of the right foot or arm to the top of the thigh, and the left hand can wrap immediately behind your back because we're ready for that. So if you are going into a full bind, my suggestion is to lift the torso up and lean your torso back towards my voice. Grip your right hip in and continuously turn the ribs. Most of us do a better job, to be honest, in the half bind. Yeah, it's a better way to be in the pose. Soften the right shoulder down, the back, awesome. And then you're steering your torso and your chest open while gripping that hip in. Every once in a while I get into the full bind and I'm like, oh, okay. No, nuh-uh. I'm out. It was something from my 30s, but it was good. It was a good shot. Stay with it. A couple more breaths. Keep bending into that front thigh. So you're getting hip and upper body all at once. Unravel the left arm. Pull up warrior 2. Circle to the floor plank position. Listen carefully. You're going to lean on your left hand for a Vashisthasana side plank. On your left hand. You're going to bend your right knee in and you're going to reach for your foot. So it's a Chopasana. You can do this with the bottom knee down. You can modify, no problem. Yep. But it's a Shavasana bound half side plank. Side plank. Nice. Let it go through a vinyasa or not, you pick. The up dog will feel good if you do choose to take it. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Good job. Breathe your left leg up and back. Just lift it. Yep. Come forward, hug that knee in, give it a good little squeeze, a little scoop. Step the foot forward and through, turn the back foot on a sharp angle. Let's rise, warrior one, left side. Yeah, so before you go anywhere, check in to make sure that your back foot's turned enough forward. Your right ribs are pivoting forward. Drop your arms alongside your body. Interlace the opposite way. It feels a little funny to cross opposite thumb, opposite baby finger. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, come forward into this version of humble. So humble warrior can be very humbling. Sometimes just resting your stomach on your thighs enough to give you what you need. Sometimes a little bit more flexibility kind of, surprises you and you can get in there. Either which way, you're right where you need to be. Steer your right ribs forward. Use the strength and the length of your feet and your legs. Reconnect with the breath. Two more. Pull your torso up. Keep your hands bound if it's available. Keep the hands bound. Straighten the left leg on track. Keep the hands bound. Pivot the left toes towards me. Inhale the breath. Exhale to go down the center. If you let go of the grip, options here could be hooking the big toes, grabbing the sides of the feet. Just throwing a couple things out there. Yep. Inhale the breath, lengthen. Exhale the breath, fold down the center. Yes, soften behind those knees and lift your hips way up. So I practice with a big bolster, and sometimes I just rest my forearms on that bolster, and you work on dragging your torso closer towards the fronts of your quads. Yeah, blocks can work the same. Yes. Nice, Kristen. Long spine on the inhale breath. If you have a bind, just dump it. Come to the fingertips. Hands slide to your hips. Halfway up, come the rest of the way up. Open your arms wide, and then from your left hip, turn your left toes forward towards the front skinny edge of the mat. Right toes turned in a little bit. Sit deep, warrior two. Track the knee. Trust that your body knows where to go. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. So we're setting up for that B variation. And float right into it because you're so ready. Hand to the instep of the foot. You can go with that half bind. Yep, right arm wraps right behind your back if you're ready to go. Hand can also just slide to the flat part of your back, or your hand can rest on your hip if it doesn't feel great. What we're looking for is the left hip gripping in and under and a turning of the ribs. So think about steering the crown of the head back towards me. So the feeling you want is that you're scooping, okay? So you don't want to be forward like this. You want to scoop this hip in and then steer your torso open. So you get this great upper body hip opener all at once. Feel the power of your feet on the floor. Pay attention to that left shoulder. I know most of us, it rolls in. Stay for a few more breaths. You're doing awesome. Warrior two, pull it up. Warrior two, pull it up. Circle it to the floor for plank. We're going into the Shavasana version of side plank. It can be taken modified with the right knee down. So the right side is where we're going. Yep, you can drop the right knee, scoot your right knee closer towards your right wrist, Holly, and it's going to be easier. There you go, perfect. Turn it out on an angle, and then you could just take this half bound. Yep, if you're in the side plank, you're grabbing for your left foot. Maybe you're able to grab it. Maybe you're just creating the shape. The right ribs turn, you look up. Nice work. Let it go, plank position through your vinyasa. That was nicely done. The up dog is smooth. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. This class is showing no emotion. Step your right foot forward, crescent lunge. There's no emotions happening in here. Crescent lunge, let's bring it up. Remember when Jack Johnson came, that was 2000. He was cool. He was a surfer guy. Yeah. Okay, anywhere you want your arms, warrior three. Warrior three. Yeah, use blocks if you feel like your balance is shitty today. Who cares? That's why we practice the blocks there. Sometimes what I do is I get into it using the blocks, and I'm like, okay, I can come up off the blocks. Anywhere you want your arms, grip your right hip in. Yeah. Yeah, well, he's got a lot of kids. I don't blame him. He's singing to his kids. He might as well record it. Hands to prayer, gaze to the floor, left hand down, right hand to the flat part of your back. We're moving into revolved Ardha Chandrasana. If this does not work for you, the alternative is twisting triangle. Most of you know that. Please take what works. Lift from that inner thigh. A lot of times just having the hand on the flat part of the back is where it's at. So take the crown of the head, Meg, and take it back. There you go. I'd use a block. Yeah, even on a low setting. Scissor those inner thighs. You got a couple more breaths. I know this one gets you good. Breathe into it. Right hand to the floor. Step the feet together at the top of the mat. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair. You know where we're going. Chair pose. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale your breath. Same direction. We're twisting to the right. Air twist if that suits the body. Watch the feet, the shins, the knees. Yep. Keep the weight back in your heels. Look sideways, look up. Nice work. Chair pose, pull it around. Chair pose, wrap your right thigh over your left thigh. Wrap your right thigh over your left thigh. Wrap your right arm underneath your left arm. You're standing on your left leg if you got confused. A lot of times when I do this pose, guys, I just use my big toe and I kind of keep it down like Amy's demonstrating here. Getting the foot around sometimes takes you out of alignment. So lift the elbows up today. Make sure you're not yanking down on the shoulder girdle. Weight stays in that standing left heel. And you're bending deep. Oh, Citizen Cope. I didn't even know it was on this playlist. This is a good one. Very happy. Keep the legs bent, just unravel your arms. Unravel back crescent lunge. Nice big step. Settle in. You're on the left side if you got lost somewhere. Anywhere you want your arms, pivot forward, warrior three. So use blocks if you need to. I know, it gets you good. We're looking for efficient and effective yoga practicing. Warrior three. We are not wasting our time. Our time is valuable. Warrior three. Hands to prayer. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand down, left hand to the flat part of your back. Option for twisting triangle is there. I'm just giving you options. Switch hands and you're in business. Yes. So what I suggest here is point your back right toes for a moment. And then scissor your inner thighs together. Perfect. Yeah, twisting triangle or revolved Ardha. It's essentially the same pose. People with torn glutes and hamstring issues. Yep. Amy, don't go outside. Go inside. And go more forward. There you go. That's going to get you more. That's it. Perfect. 2 more breaths. You're rocking it. Nice adjustments, Brittany. Eyes to the floor, left hand comes down. Feet together, top of mat. Long spine, stay with it. Fold. Sit into chair, you can do it. Hands to prayer. This is where we pray for ourselves. Inhale the breath. We hook and go towards the mirrors this time. Sounds very Jersey. I apologize. Yes. Watch your right knee. Your right knee likes to slide past your left. That generally comes from tight hips. We all have them. Good. Alignment looks great. You can always also do this where you kind of anchor into the center of your thigh and see how that feels. Sometimes just that little too far pass gets you too deep. Are we breathing? Spine is long, looking sideways, looking up. Chair pose, pull it around, stay in the legs. You've got this. You're on your right leg. The left thigh is wrapping around the right thigh. The left thigh is wrapping around the right thigh. Do the legs first, and then wrap your left arm underneath your right arm. Make sure you're not yanking down on your elbows. I'd rather your toe not be wrapped around, but you have better alignment. Lift the elbows up. Sit deep into that standing right leg. Steer your knees a little left and torso just a tad to the right. These look awesome. Keep squeezing the legs. Keep squeezing the legs. Just unravel your arms. Unravel back crescent lunge on the right side. Crescent lunge right side. That's it. Everybody drop the back knee on an angle how we started. Slide your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and twist. Yeah. You lean back, you get in there. If you want to integrate your back knee up off the ground, totally up to you. Just depends on how your body's feeling at the moment. But keeping that knee down is a really nice way to be in the pose. You want to lean back a little bit and get in there, gripping your right hip in. Emotions. Hands to frame your front foot. Plank. You know, sometimes I get classes that are very dramatic. Chaturanga push-up. They're sighing, they're oohing, they're eyeing. Down dog. Yes. Left foot forward, crescent lunge. Last time, last standing pose. I think. Rise. I think. Drag your hands to prayer. Lean way out. Hook the elbow and twist. Listen, if you need that back knee down, drop it down. Yeah, take it that way. So a lot of times in these twisting poses, you want to look back, but it's better just to look sideways or up because it's going to really help keep that back leg from dropping and the spine staying long. So, yeah. And then that left hip starts to get tired, so it wings out. So grip it in and then activate that back leg like a solid plank. Give it a little more love. Plank position. Let's tap it out, right hand, left shoulder. Here we go. Without the hips moving too much. Opposite hand, opposite shoulder. Yep. Neck stays neutral. Abdominal wall stays engaged. You can always drop your knees. Go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold plank. Bring your feet together, and then the right foot goes out, comes back to center. The left foot goes out, comes back to center. Good. Just like that for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips go up and back, down dog. Right knee forward, half pigeon. Yeah. Makes you appreciate it more. Melting into it. If for some reason this doesn't feel good today, please let me know. We'll find an alternative for you. But most of us look good. So if you're down in this half pigeon, if you want to crawl your left hand on top of your right hand and crawl a little tiny bit to the right, you might feel a little more through that left leg. Yeah. Just a tiny bit. Yeah. Walk back to center if you did that. Curl the back toes under, lift up, down dog, and then just switch. You just go to the other side. Yeah. Left leg forward, and then melt. Just do it normal to start. Yeah. And this side could feel better, feel worse, or the same. So if you're down and you want to try to get that right side of the body a little bit more turned down and feel a little more, just walk your right hand on top of your left hand. It's just a small movement, and then you walk a little bit to the left, and you may feel a little bit more. Come back to center. Pull the torso up. Yeah. Lean on your left side and swing your right leg forward. Yeah. Both legs straight forward. Feet can be hips width distance. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Lengthen, and then exhale, fold. I like doing Paschimottanasana with the feet a little bit apart. I feel like it gives your pelvis a little bit more space to lengthen. And even if you can't grab your feet, it's just the action of stretching forward. I know. Yeah. Some people are just born with more flexibility. When I went to my first training, I couldn't believe how some bodies were just, it was crazy. Lay down. Like we started, you're going to dig your heels into the mat like this. A little bit of a wider positioning for this first bridge. Elbows press, back of the triceps press, lift up this way, and then clasp the hands. So I want your heels digging into the ground. It's a wider position. It's almost like a 5-pointed star or something. Yeah. You're welcome to slide blocks underneath. Yeah, it's a little bit wider and longer. Good. And then exhale the breath, lower that down. And then you set up for the one that you normally do. So sometimes having the feet a little bit wider feels better, elevating the feet, blocks underneath your tailbone. It's nice to sometimes just like tweak some of these poses just a tiny bit to see what you can find. Lift up, slide a block underneath, bridge. So stay up and bridge. If you want to add in a full wheel, you can do that now. If not, just stay here for like another 5 or 6 breaths. I'm just going to keep it longer. Yeah. The space that you're creating from the tailbone to the back of the knees, your feet stay flush forward, your inner thighs drop down and under, and you're not making your neck feel like it's compressing. There's length and there's space. Exhale the breath lower down. Everybody grab their block. Place it either the low, the medium, the highest setting is going to be the most intense. Lift your hips up and slide it underneath your lower back. Yeah. Once it gets there, you can lift both legs up towards the sky. Yeah. Interlace your hands around the block. There's a little cupping and scooping of those shoulder blades. Your knees can be, legs can be straight, or the knees can have a slight bend. It's kind of like a Barbie foot. So you're not point, you're not flexed. It's something in the middle. If you remember what Barbie's foot looks like. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But it's not flexed and it's not pointed. So it's in the middle. Makes you think about these things. I just remember my brother like giving Barbie a haircut. Yeah. 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 We like he gave her a military cut. Then he ripped her head off one time. Yeah, poor Barbie. Bend your knees in half. Take your feet flat to the floor. Slide the block slowly and softly out from underneath your lower back. Good. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Drop your knees over towards the right. You can wrap if that feels better, or keep them together and stacked. Simple twist. Roll up to center and just kind of switch that. Go the opposite direction. Great. Come up to center. Give your knees an even squeeze in, like you're going to jump into a swimming pool today. Wrap in tight. Reach your arms alongside your body, your eyeballs into your knees. Yes. It's like a tight, like you're going to take a cannonball. Good. When you release out, the legs and the arms, everything hovers. Neck is neutral. Hold. More energy through your fingertips, through your toes. You're hovering your body. Everything's hovering. Look up. Relax. To the floor we go. Shavasana. Complete restoration right now. Relaxation. Full breath in. Exhale your breath out. Big breath in. Even bigger breath out. Arms up over the top of the head. Give yourself a really big full body stretch. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And rock yourself up any which way feels appropriate in your body. I'd recommend keeping the eyes shut and just kind of being in these final moments of the practice. The fun part of this practice is you never know what you're going to get. Like, you never know how you're going to feel, what you're going to think. Really doesn't matter. Just showing up, being present, and getting the job done. Hands to prayer. Bow your head for a sec. Have some gratitude. It is the best attitude. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you not next week, after the holiday week. Be well, and thanks. See you soon.